Today I'm going to make a sugar-free vanilla syrup and vanilla sugar, but I'm using erythritol instead of the sugar. And I will link the recipe down in the description of the video. So I'm just starting out with making the syrup, and I put in some water, erythritol and some xanthan gum. I'm whisking this together. If you want a thicker syrup, you can use a little more xanthan gum, but if you don't have xanthan gum or want it really thin, you can just leave it out. And the recipe is just for a really simple syrup, but as I said, I'm using vanilla. So I have some vanilla beans or vanilla pods, and I'm cutting them open down the middle of them, and then I'm scraping out all of the seeds, and I will put that into my syrup. And the pods themselves I will also use, so nothing is going to waste, because vanilla is really expensive. But I bought these in December, I think, where they were on sale. So I got about 10 of these for maybe $12 or so. So these are all of the seeds that I scraped out. This is what is the expensive part. And from this first one I just put it directly into my syrup. But then I thought about doing it a different way. So they clump together a little, all of these little seeds, because they are moist. So I just took some erythritol onto my cutting board and I smashed the seeds into that. So that way they will separate a lot easier, and I did that with the rest of it. So now I put all of my vanilla seeds into the syrup, and these are all of the empty pots, and I will use them later on. But now I just put my pot on my stove, and I will bring this up to a boil just to dissolve all of the erythritol and to make the xanthan gum thicken it a little better. I'm stirring the syrup while it's boiling, and I will scrape down the sides all the way through, just to make sure that it's not crystallizing on the sides of my pot. And then I have these sweetened vanilla drops that I'm using. I think the recipe calls for some stevia drops, but you can use whatever you like. And this is to make it the right sweetness, because the erythritol itself will not sweeten it too much, because if you put too much erythritol in it, it will crystallize. So you have to make it a little sweeter with something else, and I'm just using those vanilla drops. And while my syrup is cooling, I will make the vanilla sugar. So I just put all of my empty pots into my blender, and then I poured on some erythritol. And then I'm just blending it up. In Denmark we're not really using vanilla extracts or something like that. We are almost always using vanilla sugar, but on a keto diet that's not so easy, so that is why I'm making my own, just by using erythritol instead of sugar. And it has to be about this consistency, so both the vanilla pods and the erythritol is pulverized. I'm also putting this little package in there that will just take some of the moisture out of it. It's not really moist, but the vanilla beans are just a little bit moist, so this just helps it not to clump up. So now I'm just really carefully pouring my vanilla erythritol in here. So I got about 3 of these jars, so I have for a long time now. And it is just tasting so much better than if you put vanilla beans into some alcohol or something like that. I like this a lot better. So this is just how my jar looks, and now I'm also ready to pour my syrup into my glass bottle because it has cooled so much now. And this bottle is actually for oil, so I have this little thing to put on top, and that makes it a lot easier to pour it out. And these are all of my products, my vanilla sugar and my vanilla syrup. And this is just so nice to have in my pantry to use when I'm baking or making coffee or something like that. And now I'm going to make a latte where I'm using some of the vanilla syrup. And I'm using some whole milk here, but if you want something with less carbs in it, you can use some almond milk or you can make egg milk. I have a few recipes for that as well. And I'm using some instant coffee without any other flavors because this is just for my husband and he likes it like that. I like all of those flavored instant coffees, so when I'm making this for myself, I like to use some of that. But he's also going to have that vanilla syrup, so that is just fine with him. And I'm just pouring my boiling hot water onto my coffee, and I already put in the syrup, but my camera didn't record that. And now I have my milk foam that I'm pouring into my coffee. I feel that the syrup goes really well with the coffee, but you can use it in other ways as well. And the vanilla sugar you can also use in a coffee, or you can use it in a dessert, or if you're baking something, or on yogurt and something like that. And now my husband is going to have a taste, and it is approved. Since I made it, I have also used the sugar part of it, and it was really good. And thank you once again for watching, and please subscribe and follow us on Instagram at Vestas Farm Life. Bye bye.